morning. This is Wendy Henley with the Chamber Vibes podcast coming at you with the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. We have some awesome guests today that are going to wow you, and we're excited to just dive right in. But I wanted to mention, just so we get it in, it is National Women's Health and Fitness Day. Woody, what do you think of that?
That is a wonderful day.
Absolutely. Good answer. And National Coffee Day.
I've already celebrated that twice this morning.
So you're good.
I'm good.
And me too. You know, I learned they have like an extra large at Joe Bean's. It's 24 ounce. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, lots to celebrate. And we do have, did we have any birthdays?
None that I recognized. I hate to say that. But
yeah, I know. We're older.
Yeah, I don't know the young celebrities. So happy birthday to them, though.
Happy birthday, everybody, today.
Yeah, happy
birthday. It's everybody's birthday.
Whoever's birthday is today, happy birthday.
We think you should celebrate.
There we go.
So we're celebrating with you. And but I just want to announce, oh my goodness, we are so blessed to have Delegate Wendell Walker here today. Welcome.
Well, it's great to be with you, Wendy.
I am so glad you're here. Virginia House of Delegates, District 23. And you are working hard for our businesses, for our entire community. And we are so thrilled to have you on today to talk about some of these issues and the campaign. And you're conservative Republican, again, as I said, representing the 23rd District in the Virginia House of Delegates. And you're a supporter of the Second Amendment, pro-life, and advocates pro-business policies, which we love here at the Chamber, pro-business.
Amen.
So thank you for that and standing up for our small businesses that need you and need everyone to be their advocate. You serve on the House Health, Welfare, and Institutions Transportation, Privileges, and Elections Committees, lots of committees. And you're a long-term member of the Republican Party, having served in a number of leadership positions, chairman of the Lynchburg Republican Party, chairman of the 6th District Republican Committee, and currently in the House Caucus representative of the State Central Committee. And graduate of Liberty Baptist College, now Liberty University, member of Thomas Road Baptist Church, and you are married to your wife, Patsy, for over 40 years. And we are just thrilled to have you to talk about some pertinent issues and really just speak to everyone about what you're doing and how well we're doing here, not only in our area, but the whole state.
Well, it's great to be with you this morning. And this is exciting times that we live in. This time of year is great. You know, the weather's changing. We're beginning to see the leaves change out here. And it's a very scenic time of year. But it's also very important because this is an election year. And all eyes of the nation are watching to see what's happening right here in Virginia. Because we're going to be choosing our next governor, our lieutenant governor, and attorney general, as well as all of the House of Delegates. There's actually 100 members of us that represent all of the Commonwealth. I'm very fortunate, I think, to be blessed with the best part of the Commonwealth of Virginia here in the 23rd District, and that is part of Amherst County, most of Lynchburg, which I share with my great friend, Delegate Kathy Byron, as well as here in Bedford. About a third of this county out here, I serve with Terry Austin and Kathy Byron as well. So there's great things happening out here in the Commonwealth, especially here in our area. We just had a transportation meeting update earlier this week. We're very fortunate. We're getting the funding that we need for this part of the state, for the infrastructure that we need to keep our economy strong and moving forward. And so many things are happening here. Certainly our workforce is very, very important. So we can talk about those issues as we go forward this morning.
Wonderful. And, you know, there's all of these are going to be important issues to our community, to our businesses. But let's learn a little bit more about you, such as what led you to public service?
Well, actually, I came here from South Georgia in 1975. You know, Dr. Fall has started the university. He said, oh, come to this great university. Well, I got to Lynchburg a week before school started. I said, Dr. Fall, where's the university? He said, you're here to help me build it, Wendell. Okay. So I have spent my last almost 50 years, you know, next weekend is the 50th anniversary of Liberty University. So I helped build the university. I graduated there. I had a major in religion, and I had been in business in Georgia prior to coming here, so I had a lot of business background, which really helped moving forward, working with the university. And then in the 80s, 1980, the country is in such a horrible shape financially. President Carter has just finished up his term. Ronald Reagan came in. Dr. Phil said, I need some help. Let's change America. And so we did. We started the Reagan Revolution. From there, I got involved in politics, helping Senator Steve Newman, who was a great friend, and many other elected officials out here. So that's where I've started. Grassroots politics, is great, exciting, because you're close to people. You can feel, you can understand their needs and what we can do better for them. So that's where my political career has been. I retired from the Department of Labor and Industry, the Virginia Department of Labor and Industry, about 3 years ago. And as soon as I retired, my good friend, Delegate Scott Garrett, said, it's time for me to retire and enjoy my kids in high school. So please, I want you to be my representative. And 65% of the people in the district said, we agree with it. And so here I am. I'm serving the wonderful people in this district out here.
That's right. And we're blessed to have you. And Delegate Scott Garrett was fabulous too. So
Yes,
we
great friend.
certainly, he did so much for us. So right now, what are the most significant issues presently facing Virginia?
Well, I say Virginia, as well as the nation, economically, we're looking at the major bills that are in Washington being debated right now. Very, very important issues. How much debt are we going to continue to incur out here, and where is that money going to be spent? When we look at Virginia, we're required by the Virginia Constitution to have a balanced budget. So we have to be very frugal and use our money wisely here, because that's our taxpayers' money. That comes out of our pockets here. So when you look at where the economy is going, I think Virginia has kind of slidden down a little bit from where we used to be. But we need to be number one, leading the nation. Because when you stop and think about the workforce trainings that we have here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we're trying to keep our taxes low. A very important issue this year coming up is the right to work. We dealt with that this past year in session. Many of the Democrats are wanting to do away with the most important thing for small business out here, and that's the ability, the right to work. And so these are critical issues that people need to be thinking about when they go to the vote on November the 2nd. How is the future going to change with a Democrat leadership here who's more open to government control and regulations? We know what that happens when we have the impact of government regulations that are just coming in and strangling small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of America. They're the backbone of Virginia. We have to do all we can to protect them. And that's what I enjoy doing, is standing up for the small people, the small businessmen.
And certainly we all need you. Our businesses need you. And we're so glad that you're on the forefront fighting for the cause. So as a member of the Health and Welfare and Institutions Committee, can you tell us more about the progress and what's going on? I know the marijuana issue is there and legalization and all of that. Talk to us about where we are.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you up front, I did not support that bill. I don't think that's the way Virginia needs to go. We don't make money by selling drugs to individuals that's going to impair their ability to be productive workers. It causes other health issues out here. While there's recreational, I support medical cannabis and things of that nature here. But, to open up Virginia, we're not going to be a New Jersey or New York or Colorado. We have strong traditional values here in Virginia. And I think that's important, especially here in this region. We want to preserve those freedoms and liberties that we have. And by marketing cannabis out here, the governor's approach was, well, it's going to be a revenue generating. Is it? Because at the end of the day, I didn't have a single doctor serving on the Health Welfare Institution ask me to vote for this. They said, Wendell, this is not good for us. Health-wise, we understand medically the impact it can have. Law enforcement, Sheriff Miller, other sheriffs around the state are very concerned about the impact that this can have, whether you're driving or other things. You look at the workforce. You have somebody that comes to work that's been high in operating machinery that could cause fatalities. So there's many reasons there that I don't think this is the best way to go. While the law did pass, it still has 2 more years to work out the details. And maybe with the new governor and a majority in the General Assembly, we can put more restraints on how that is going to be marketed.
Yes, there's a lot that can change, and certainly, we see the advantages, of course, for the medical only. That's important for sure. So let's talk about workforce development, and where are we with that pipeline for future workforce?
Well, that's a great subject and one that I really enjoy because when we think about our future, we think about opportunities. As strong family units, we want to keep our young people that are going through our school systems right now. We want to give them opportunities right here at home in Virginia, especially here in Central Virginia. So having a strong workforce that meets, this is still a relatively strong manufacturing area out here. We're not the high tech like Northern Virginia is, while we have great high tech businesses that are coming into the area. Those are great. But look at the businesses such as Century right here in the northern end of the county. I was with those just shortly a couple of weeks ago, and they were just begging and begging. We're having a hard time just keeping a workforce. We need to go to 3 shifts. We're at 2 right now. So where is the young people coming from? It has to come from our high schools, mentored into job training programs or opportunities. So those skilled workers are right here. We don't have to go out and import them or bring them in. Our best workers are our own folks here. So I think that's important, is to stay in tune with the industry, listen to the industries, work with the school system. So it's a team effort. If we're going to be successful, then that's what we have to do, is find ways by which to continue to improve and fund workforce development.
Right, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head when you said team effort. So many of us are working together, like the economic development, the Chamber of Commerce, yourself. We're all trying to do what we can to help keep the workforce here and sustained. We know every single business right now is hurting and the workforce is depleting. So we need to really make this an effort, team effort for sure, to keep our workforce able to keep their businesses open and have the workforce that they need. And so that is a hot topic for sure. What about transportation? Let's talk about that, where we are. I know you said some good things in the beginning, and then we'll kind of veer off into talk about the train as well.
Yes, rail is very important, but at the same time, here in rural Virginia, we have a lot of road mileage to develop, to maintain, our bridges and the infrastructure goes along with that. And folks, it takes a lot of money, tax money, to do that. So there, being on the transportation committee, working along with my friend Delegate Terry Austin, we try to fight for this part of Virginia, Central Virginia out here, in every area that we can, to make sure we have the roads that we need to transport the commerce that is being generated right here, whether it's to Virginia Beach, to exports, and rail. Rail is also very important here for our industries, and then also for passenger. That has been something we've been working on, trying to improve the passenger rail. Amtrak from Lynchburg to Washington, I've been on that. I mean, it's great. Hop on the train, go to D.C., do your business, come back. But now we're trying to extend that further into Christiansburg, Blacksburg, to Roanoke, and further. So progress is being made there. We're moving forward, and at the same time, development is being done. The S-curve out here on 460, it's taken a while. That's a $10 million project, but that is moving along great. It's certainly up in the northern end of the county here. We have 221, 460. A lot of those improvements are coming along. They're already out to bid, most of them, so it's just a matter of time before ground starts breaking for that. So these are very important and critical, especially for the development, where there's residential development, business development. Good roads produce good business transportation.
Absolutely. And we do need to keep working at that. But it's good that we do have the funds that we need right now to do what the projects that are there. And we're excited you're on the front for that. And then let's talk about how people so that's a little bit about infrastructure, and what else is something that's really important to our businesses right now. Healthcare, of course.
Yes, so healthcare is extremely important to everybody,
Yes.
and especially when it comes to families that are trying to make ends meet. And so those are things we're trying to look at. How can we help families? There's some single moms out here with some real pressing needs. And so when we look at the business community and what we can do there, the best decisions are decisions that are made by small government here. We need to give them more opportunities. I mean, small businesses. Small businesses need to have more opportunities by which to expand the benefits they want to offer to their employees. I think that's where we have to be more open-minded as to how we can help with these resources here. It's not the role of government to fund every need that we have out here in life. I think that's very important, because I believe freedom and liberty are important, and individual decisions are something that we cherish so much as Americans. But where we can help, that's what government needs to do. Where we need to get out of the way, then sometimes we need to do that. Why it's reluctant by some individuals in the General Assembly. They want to have total control over every aspect of our life. But we know that that is a pressing need. And we're looking at ways by which we can find the help for these small businesses.
Yes, and you're certainly making a difference there. So on the subject of small business, you've received endorsements from pro-business groups like the National Federation of Independent Business, Virginia Farm Bureau, and a 100% rating from the Virginia Chamber of Commerce in 2020. So awesome job there. Certainly you've got all types of endorsements for pro-business. And again, we appreciate it so much. So how can folks go out and vote? We know the registration is it October? They can register to vote until October the 12th. Is that correct?
Yes, voter registration is open until October 12th. After that is closed for this November 2nd election. So if you have not registered to vote, or if you need to change your voter registration, it's very simple. You can actually go online and do a lot of this now, or you can go to your local registrar's office. But the important thing is register and vote. This is the one powerful tool that Americans have, we as Virginians need to exercise, the right to vote. There's been so many issues over the last year or two with election laws. That's another committee that I serve on, and we'll be addressing those once we get the majority back, once we get a new governor, Glenn Youngkin. So we're looking forward to making those changes. But please, go out and vote. The statewide ticket this year is Glenn Youngkin, Republican, for governor, Winston Sears, lieutenant governor candidate, and Jason Miyares, who's actually my seatmate in the General Assembly, running for attorney general. This is our statewide ticket. Locally, you have your school board and you have the House of Delegates. So I would strongly encourage everybody, this is your opportunity to make a difference, to change Virginia. Let's get it back on the right path. Let's turn Virginia red again. And it's all up to you, the voters.
And you're wearing red today, so
Absolutely.
Very patriotic
I'm
what you have on,
message.
sending the message, bringing it, and please, everyone get out and vote. Your vote does count. You are making a difference, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our events coming up. Go out, though. Everyone go vote. Go register to vote in Bedford County. You can vote right now, even absentee. So we thank you so much for coming on today, and we'll look forward to November the 2nd. Coming up, Election Day.
That is going to be a great and exciting day. You're going to feel a big earthquake. We had a small one out here yesterday, but you are going to see a big one. So great day. We're all excited. And Wendy, it's always great to work with you and the business community chamber down here. And I understand we have a new person that is going to be helping me in the future. And you'll be talking with her shortly.
Oh, wonderful.
Pam Bailey. So congratulations to her.
Yes. We are so excited. And we've got Pam Bailey here with us as well. Thank you again, Delegate Walker. We appreciate all that you're doing and all that you're going to continue to do. So have a great afternoon. But we have another guest here today. We're going to switch gears and go to our newest and exciting Pam Paley, Director of Economic Development for Bedford County. Congratulations.
Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate the cheers.
Oh my goodness. I was so excited when I found out. And, you're responsible for so much, and you've been doing this job after Tracy Bledo took a different position in somewhere else. And so you stepped up. And you've been doing it and as interim, and then certainly they chose you, and you have been responsible for planning, developing, directing business and economic development programs and services in the county for a while. Let's talk about you and everything about Pam this morning in 2 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I've got a few minutes, but what do you want to know?
So talk about how you got into, serving the county. What led you here?
So I worked for a marketing and advertising agency for years in Lynchburg. And when the position opened, actually, I kind of knew Tracy. And we were just talking randomly one day. And I said, well, have you not found anybody to replace Jessica yet? And she's like, no, I haven't found him yet. I said, what does she do again? And then we started talking. And then so she's like, you should apply. So I applied for the job and just sort of took the ball and ran with it, and have been enjoying it ever since. And I don't know how to just stop. So when she kind of made the announcement that she was going to be leaving, I just said, oh, well, okay, I don't know any different than to just keep doing it. So I just took the ball and ran with it, and until somebody told me not to.
Well, you've got that ball just going, girl. I'm telling you, you manage Bedford One program with the high schools and the local businesses, working with them on the career interest and what we need for our workforce going forward, and what careers are available right here in our area, which really helps tremendously. We've worked with you on that. And you've been here since February 2018, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what did you do prior to coming on?
Well, so like I said, I worked for a marketing and business marketing agency in Lynchburg, Blair Marketing. And most of our clients were all industrial clients, including like Delta Star. So I have a sort of a history in working with, and actually a lot of local governments were my clients as well. So I sort of had some of that knowledge, and I felt like if I could help those businesses and their business development needs, that I could transfer those skills and use them to help Bedford County businesses. So that's really where my passion is.
And you also have nonprofit background as well.
Yes.
So that helps with as well into doing the grants that you're writing and these kind of things too.
Yeah, I didn't do many grants. I was a marketing person at United Way. I was a marketing director there for about 1.5 years before I transferred to go to Blair. But yes, that taught me kind of how to work with a board. I had never really worked with a board of directors before, and making sure I'm getting all the right messaging out, and having a very restrictive budget compared to my big budgets at Erickson. But, organizing Day of Caring and things like that for United Way was a great learning experience, and another good way to get involved on the local level.
So many things. And so they just announced it. The press release went out, was it yesterday or
Monday?
Monday. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I know you were rolling before then, and now you're still running with the ball. Yep. And so let's talk about a few subjects that are important. Child care and the new survey and things that are going on there with our child care desert that we've had.
Yeah, so I'm part of that BARC, which is the Bedford Area Resource Council, which is an awesome, actually has been recognized as a great organization that brings nonprofits from all over Bedford County together, and local government and small business. And so we started doing some different things, and they realized that we already kind of knew that there was a childcare desert, which impacts our workforce. And so we decided that we need to do a survey. So thankfully to the Bedford County GIS department, Holly Lane at United Way, and also social services, Andy Crawford, we were able to kind of put this survey together and disseminate it. And so we're asking all businesses to help participate in that by deciding how is lack of childcare impacting your business and your ability to run your day-to-day operations. Have people left the workforce because they don't have childcare? Where are the childcare gaps? I know that United Way, not United Way, but the Bedford Y is adding a new child care facility, and we're hoping that's going to help fill some of those gaps. But we don't know where the gaps are, where the rest of the holes are. We have an idea, but we really need anyone who is impacted by lack of child care, or just not even lack of child care, but if you have a child, if you're a parent or a guardian or even a grandparent that cares for a child, we need you to fill out the survey. And if you have a business in Bedford County, we need you to fill out the survey. There are two different surveys. One's for parents and guardians and child care providers, and the other one is for local business.
And these two surveys are being conducted. People to fill them out, businesses or individuals can go to your Bedford County website.
If they go to bedfordcountyva.gov, the link is right there. We're actually hoping to put out flyers, but people don't really pay attention to flyers much anymore. But it's on the Bedford County Economic Development Facebook page, and we're hoping the news media has picked it up enough that more people will go on, and I'll be sending out a newsletter later on this week that'll go to businesses, and hoping that they share with their employees as well.
And that survey, people can fill that out until October 29th. It'll be up. And, this is serving children from 0 to 13, it looks like. And, it is great that the YMCA, Bedford YMCA, is going to be opening their daycare projected date as of next fall when school year starts, so 2022, which is amazing. And they're projected to have about 50 to 60 children that they can serve from 0 to 5. So that is going to be something huge for our area that is very exciting, help meet some of that need. So let's talk about Bedford One and explain what that is and what you do and how that impacts the workforce for later.
Yeah, so Bedford One is a fantastic program where we take students from all area high schools, from our 3 Bedford County public high schools, and we take them on tours of local industry so they can kind of get a sense of what jobs and career pathways are available in the region. We don't necessarily limit it to Bedford County, but just sort of even the surrounding areas, because our goal is, we don't want to hear, well, there's nothing to do here, there's no jobs here. And I think me included as a parent, I had no idea that a lot of the businesses even existed here. So this is our chance to let the kids, explore some of these different career pathways, whether it's healthcare or engineering or manufacturing or, automation or anything like that. But because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to actually take them out to tour. So we've been having career conversations, and those have been great because they're a little bit shorter. They're all on, Zoom or whatever, and we were recording them. So Bedford County Economic Development has a YouTube channel, and so we encourage everyone to go out and watch these videos that we've had. We're going to have 2 more. We've got 2 more coming up. We've got someone from Centos is going to be doing the next one in October. And then our newest business, Wexco USA, we have one of the owners there talking about his beginnings as a machinist, and how now he is part owner of this company. So it's kind of a neat way to show the different career pathways. A lot of us, we didn't major in whatever we're doing now.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And speaking of that, I know we're huge here for manufacturing. I know a lot of people don't even realize that. And I know this is National Manufacturing Week.
Yes.
So what are you doing?
So, sadly, I feel like that's one of the balls that I've dropped. I've been so busy doing so many things.
You had a lot going on.
I've had a lot going on. I'm like, oh no, it is Manufacturing Week. But one thing that we do try to do all the time is recognize. I don't want anyone to think that it's just one week that we recognize manufacturing businesses here. But actually, in a little bit, I'm going to go out to NanoTouch. They have been recognized by the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance as Manufacturer of the Year for Bedford County. And that is really because they've doubled the size of their production in the last really year and a half. A lot of it's due to COVID. They're one of the businesses that were sort of positively impacted by the pandemic with their products. And so a lot of us have seen them around, on door handles and whatnot. So they're recognized as more than doubling their workforce and doubling their manufacturing space. And so I'm just happy to be able to go out and do that. We recently had Glenn Youngkin come out and tour Century Equipment, who's another manufacturer. And then our largest manufacturer, you can't dismiss them, is Georgia Pacific out in Big Island. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's too many to name. I can't name them all,
yes,
so.
exactly.
So sorry, I had to
put a plug in.
Yeah.
So small business grants. Let's talk about that.
So that is one thing that we don't have yet in the county. And we have, some of these large incentives that we do, or incentives that we do for larger businesses when they have a minimum of $650,000 investment. Well, for most smaller businesses, that's sort of capital that they will never need. They don't need manufacturing equipment that is that size. So we're looking at what are some other ways that we can address some other capital expenditures that, $100,000 could equal $1 million to a small company. So I'm trying to look at ways that we can tier some things to do with businesses and have smaller grants available, still have a little bit of a performance agreement, but I don't know what shape it's going to take yet, but there will probably be there'll be an application, but we're still kind of firming that up and just seeing what it could look like.
Well, we know you're going to just be doing such a wonderful job as you have in the past, and we can't wait to see what's ahead. And I think we can end with your vision for the department, if you can talk about that, or a strategic plan that you have.
Well, our EDA just went through a strategic plan, and we have not finalized that yet. I actually just got the report. We had an awesome facilitator of that. She sent me a 50-page report yesterday.
It's going to take a little bit to digest.
So I'm going to be diving into that. And but I do think it does help you kind of narrow and focus really where we need to be spending our efforts. And for the most part, what really rang out during that session was existing businesses and investment. We have to keep the businesses that are here, and we need to keep them thriving. So anything that we can do to help as a government, with sort of either by getting out of the way or helping them in other ways, that is one thing that we know that we need to focus on.
Well, we thank you and for taking on this absolutely awesome job, and we know that you are going to continue to do a fabulous job for Bedford County, and we look forward to great things to come. Thank you for stopping in. We're going to have a more intensive interview later, but this was just to let people know, who's there now and who to call and who's making it happen. So thank you so much, Pam, for being
Thanks,
here.
Wendy. I appreciate your time today.